Hello, and thanks for joining us tonight. My name is Mike Tellerino, CEO of K9 for Veterans. And I'm sitting here with Cassandra Taylor.
Yes.
She's with Women's Self-Defense. Am I got that right?
Nope.
Women...
It's top flight
I'm
defense.
so sorry.
For women, veteran, and women in the community.
I got it.
There you go.
And we're also co-host is Kevin Henrick. Why don't you start off by telling us all about your program? First of all, how did you start this?
Okay. Well, top flight defense was something that I had been thinking about for a while, but never decided I was going to do it. Really didn't know how to do it. And so one night I was on the phone talking to a friend of mine that lives in D.C., and she was like, Cassandra, you are always helping other nonprofit organizations. You are. You're always, thank you. You're always doing something for them. And now it's time for you to step out and create something of your own. And so I was thinking, I was like, okay, let me think about it. And so while laying there, I was watching the news. And it came up on the news about this man in Wisconsin that walked these two young girls down the hill. And one of the young ladies was recording him on her phone, and he wound up killing him. I'm not sure as of today that they even found him, but in my head I'm like, oh, it's two of them. Somebody could have did something. Right. And then I'm thinking to myself, okay, when you're in a situation, you can forget everything that you know, all of your training. So that got to me. And then the next day, watching the news about a young lady that worked at the post office on the south side of Chicago, and she was pregnant. She left home going to work. They've never seen her since. She was kidnapped. And That's terrible. All I kept thinking about, we need to take everyone back to the basics. Basic training, they taught us about self-defense, being aware of your surroundings, just having your battle buddy. All of that kind of stuff is what they taught us in basic training. And I'm like, what can I do? How can I help not just the women veterans that came out that are still in, and the women in the community? What can I do? And so I sat and I thought about it, and then I thought about other things, how for myself, when I got out of the military, I had no idea what I wanted to do. But I knew I was a cook when I was in. Then I went to HR. Then I went as a training NCO. Then I went as sexual assault, suicide prevention, all of this other stuff. So one title, I had like 15 jobs. But I needed to convert that to the civilian world. And so I thought about, okay, I need to come up with something that will help women who have a career, but they needed some fine tuning. They needed some other things going on. And then what about those women that just running around, don't know what they want to do? They, jack of all trades, a master of none. Yeah. Right. Help them. Right. So then that's when I came up with the name Top Flight Defense. Top for the women that are in their career but needing some fine tuning. Flight for the women who are not, I don't want to call them flighty, but women that
need a little guidance,
little guidance, exactly. And then defense, the defense part of it is helping women to be physically, financially, emotionally, and spiritually defensive.
Well, you served 28 years in the military.
Yes, I did.
28 years. That's a long time to serve.
Yes, it was.
So through that 28 years, you've gained a lot of valuable experience as far as protocol, as far as just everything, Yes. So for what you're doing to help these women, that's amazing because you've got the experience to really step up to the plate and show them what to do.
Thank you.
And not only that, and let me just add, you're a great singer. I got to get that out because I know it'll be bugging me. Cassandra sings the national anthem at all of K9 events, and she's got the voice of an angel. So
thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that. So now that got that out of the way, tell us some more about your future plans. What are your plans for this?
Okay, so our future plans, right now we are in the process of holding our first event, our
Right.
huge event,
Nice.
face to face, is called Why I Served. And this event will highlight 68 women veterans who told their story why they decided to join the military. And that was another one of those late night can't sleep type of dreams and thoughts I was having.
It's the best thing can happen.
Exactly. It's like late at night. I was like, and that was it.
Right.
So what I did, I put out on Facebook and on all of the social media, anybody want to tell their story? Why did you decide to join the military? And I had like about 115, 16 ladies sending me, yeah, I want to do it. But then when I said, okay, I need 500 words or less, tell me, and these are the guidelines, and this is what I'm looking for. And out of the 115 emails, I got about 68, maybe 70 to return back
Right.
and say, yeah, this is our story. So what we did, when I said we, me and my sorority sister, we took their stories and we added some creativity to it to just spruce it up a little bit, make it a little more in reading. And when I tell you, some of the stories will make you laugh. A lot of them will make you laugh. Some will make you cry. Some you'll get angry with, and then others will be like, yeah. But what they all will do for you is see the strength in these women, the determination. They didn't. A lot of them were deterred. Not deterred, but their family. Some of their family members weren't so happy about their decision. But these women would not allow anything to
stop
change.
them.
Yeah, to stop them. They was like, I'm signing up anyway.
Tell me, what's it like for a woman in the military? I mean, I'm talking about starting out with basic AIT, going forward with your MOS. I
Okay.
mean, it's got to be a challenge
It is.
because it is a man's army,
Yeah.
right? Maybe
Yes.
I shouldn't say that.
No, I mean, they say it's a man's world,
Yeah.
but we women are here to show you that it's not. Okay? But what I can tell you, and that's why I'm doing this event, and I have the collective stories, and we're putting them into a book, be coming into your stores soon.
Soon.
But I had to plug that in there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, definitely.
But the thing is, for me, when I went in, without telling my story of why I went in, it was different. I was 22 years old when I went in. So I was older than most of the young ladies that was there. And it was strict. They taught us about the battle buddies and everything, but drill sergeants that were men,
Did they expect more from the women?
I won't say that they expect more.
Did you have
You know
to
who
prove
you know
yourself?
who expected more out of us?
Who?
The female drill sergeants.
Really?
Oh yeah, I had this one drill sergeant. And I wish I could Drill Sergeant Epps, pint size.
She's out there watching.
Woo! Yeah, hey, drill sergeant. This woman would take her M16 and she would put it in her pelvis and boom, boom, to show that you're not gonna move. And I'm like, I can't do all of that.
Yeah.
But they expected more because women can be known to be wimpy. Can you open this up for me? It's too hard. And so back then in the 80s, they wasn't expecting us, to max our PT scores and
Right.
to be able to go through the infantry training and do the things that we're actually doing
Climb under
now.
that barbed wire.
Exactly. So it was different in our basic training. I enjoyed basic training, actually. I enjoyed they smoked us. Go run up that hill and come right back down now. Roll. Roll where? In the mud?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm rolling in the mud. But my thing, what got me through basic training, and I told the ladies, they got to go home. So they're not going to stay here with us all night torturing us. Drill sergeant walk past, I'm not going to do no push-ups, but as soon as she come back my way, I'm like, whoa.
I can do this.
Yeah, I can do this.
Exactly.
I'm doing them, So that's
Yeah.
what helped me through. Basic. AIT was more open. There was some
It
things.
wasn't as stringent, I don't
Right.
think.
But there were some things going on, and I don't even know if I can mention it, with the male drill sergeants trying with the female
We're going to talk about that
Okay.
in a minute.
Okay.
We are going to talk about that,
Yeah.
so keep that thought.
Okay, so then AIT, went through AIT, and then I came back home into my reserve unit because I was a TPU soldier, part-time soldier. And so I would go there on the one weekend out of a month, then I go back to the post office and work, and then the next month I'm going back and doing the 2 weeks out of the year until 9/11 hit. And then that's when
Everybody
we got
got
our
called in.
Yep, that's when we got our orders. But my unit was a garrison support unit, and so our deployment was actually we didn't get deployed out of state. We got out of country. We got deployed or mobilized, I should say, to
Right.
Fort McCoy, Wisconsin, and
For support.
Yeah, for support, and we
Right.
saw soldiers going out. And actually, my daughter was one of the soldiers that we processed to Afghanistan.
Really?
Yes.
Is that the one with us
Yes,
tonight?
yes, that's the one that's with us tonight. She was one of the
Beautiful
ones.
girl.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's a
And
crazy experience.
so, the experience was amazing. So much so I decided, I think I want to make this a career.
Right.
I wanted to stay.
That's a great move
full-time.
today.
Yeah.
For
And
anybody.
It really is. And here's the thing.
Yeah, the retirement package is
The
Right.
retirement package is excellent. When you're there full time, you have the health care, you have the housing, all of that stuff.
Right.
And the funny part for me, when I was on post and we had our housing, the post commander wound up giving us, me and my family, an award because we used the least amount of utilities. but what they didn't understand was my son. My son believed in God's sunlight. So he would go through the house, cut off all of the lights, and open up the blinds during the daytime and let God's sunlight in.
My father used to tell me when he see a light on, do I work for the Edison Company? When we light up the outside?
I feel like
Yeah.
that was beating
So,
into
yeah.
all of us.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got through the boot camp ATI. Now, your group, okay, what about, is there as much PTSD for women as there is for men coming out of the military? How would you rate that?
How would I rate it?
Yeah, just, your own knowledge, your own...
Okay, from my own, and this is Cassandra Taylor's only personal opinion. There's
Right.
nothing medical. There's no books or anything that I'm
Right.
reading this from. I have to make that clear.
Okay.
I would say it's about 50-50, but most men don't want to acknowledge
Right.
their PTSD,
Weakness.
Oh,
the weakness, showing signs of
Right.
weakness. And I actually did a voiceover animated video about PTSD, and I should have sent that to you so you can see it. And at the end of the video, it says, it's not a sign of weakness when you ask for help. But the women, with our PTSD and acknowledgement of our PTSD, where our struggle is the healthcare system. And trying to differentiate between, like me, I'm 58. Okay, I've been diagnosed with PTSD. And so in going through it, it's like, okay, well, you're 58. Is this your hormones kicking in?
Right.
Is it, you know what I mean? Is it different things? So women have other female...
Is that because you hadn't served in combat?
For my PTSD?
Yeah.
It was something...
And we don't have to get into it.
Okay,
I'm
look,
just
I
asking.
am an open book because, and the reason I say that,
Yeah.
because you don't know what your story or how your story will help somebody else.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, go right ahead.
And I think the doing what we do at K9, and Kevin will tell you, I think the hardest thing for any veteran in any branch of service is to reach out and ask for help. But I really think that's the starting point. When you could reach out and make that leap forward to say, hey, I'm here and I need some help. That's the first step to getting better.
And you know what? It is, but the issue that we tend to fall in, and you were a former firefighter,
That's
right?
correct, yes.
Okay. Now tell me if I'm right or wrong about this. If you go out and get help and say, because of everything that you've seen being a firefighter, and you wound up having PTSD, it would be hard for you to come back and tell your commander that you have PTSD,
absolutely.
because then you become labeled.
Right.
And that's
Exactly.
what happens.
And you get labeled
to,
as weak or all
right.
those things. Yeah, like I said, it's a sign of weakness of which I struggled, myself for years.
And he's still dealing.
And I still am, yeah.
Still dealing
I'm just
with
finally open now to talking about it so that others don't go through what I went through.
Right.
And
sort of what you're doing.
exactly.
Share the
Yeah,
story.
you share your story, and
Right.
if you help one person with this,
You've done your job.
Exactly.
Kevin has opened up. I mean, he basically just started with K9.
Okay.
And just being a part of K9, and I think being around other veterans and knowing that, and he's in training with his service dog too, I think that has really helped him, come out of that stigma about, hey, I'm broken. No, because you're working with the other veterans that are going through
Yep.
the same thing. So I think what you're doing is unbelievable, because you got that group that are all going through the same thing, so they can lean on one another.
And that's
they
what we
can
do.
support
And they
one another.
see, and you see somebody else is going
Right.
through this, and you're giving them a voice and giving them
Right.
courage now.
No one's looking
And
at
it's-
them saying, "Oh, that's wrong with you."
Yeah.
Right. No, we laugh about it.
Right.
Sometimes we were just in a group a few minutes ago, because with the book, I have it broken down into branch of services. And so, but because I created each one of the groups on Facebook, I go in and I talk, and one of the ladies, she was like, "Girl, I'm all over the place. I'm da-da-da-da. I hit this, I hit that, da-da-da-da-da-da-da." And you should see how many hearts and thumbs up and smiles and laugh, because we all, at the end of the day, we all have our struggles.
Right.
And to know that we can come into a group where there's no judgment,
And they're talking about it openly.
Yeah.
openly.
And it feels good to
Openly.
get it out.
Exactly. And
Openly.
and somebody might be there to relate, and just by you speaking about it might allow them to speak about it, and it's
Gives them the courage
it's
to,
a fantastic.
to step
And
up to
that's
the plate.
and that's the number one reason on the book of Why I Serve, because we don't know who else, and we would like to do this annually, because 67 women, there's more than 67 women
Exactly.
out there that's been in the
Yeah.
military. We want more stories so we can have another event. We can have another book, so all of our stories can be heard, because you see at the end, but how did she get to being a lieutenant colonel? How did she get to being a major general? Was it always that easy?
Right.
No, it wasn't that easy. Do you know, I have a story from the only female Coast Guard. She's 98 years old.
God bless her.
She's not going to be able to make it to the event,
Right.
but she put a story
But you
in.
have her
Oh, that's
story.
fantastic.
But I do have a Air Force young lady, 87. She was in the Korean War.
God bless.
She was on the honor flight, and she said, "Cassandra, yes, I would love to come." So I will have her there. So I know there's a bunch more that tell, and
Right.
to listen to her story from the Korean War is really
But
funny.
you're
about her.
giving them the opportunity to step up, get their story out to
Yes.
others, giving those other veterans the courage, and I mean courage, to step up to the plate and say, "Hey, you know what? I have a story,
Yep.
and I'm willing to tell it now." Only because they listened to what your story was, or the other stories were, that they're not alone.
Right.
Same thing with PTSD and our veterans.
Exactly.
Soon as they understand that this isn't something that's isolated and they're the only one with it, the only one struggling, and they can step up to the plate and ask for help. That's always been my thought. It's always the first part of getting better.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. Yep.
It is.
My dad used to always say, "A closed mouth don't get fed."
I like that.
So I'm hungry.
Yeah.
So I'm going to
Yeah.
talk to you, and I'm going to tell you what I need.
Right.
And if you can't help me, that's all right. You may know somebody that can help.
Right.
And that's the way I look at it, because we have women that have called me and asked for certain things, and I don't know everything. I don't have everything. But I have a Rolodex. We don't use Rolodex no more.
No, we
No,
don't.
no one does.
Okay,
Your
how about my
iPhone.
contact?
We
There
don't
you
use
go.
iPhone.
Android.
Yeah.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
Android.
iPhone.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll let you slide with the
Okay.
Apple. But we have those, and I can make phone calls and
Right.
say, "Hey, I have a female that need this. Can you help her?" And then I connect them. And that's what I feel. I'm a connector. That's I feel like I'm a connector.
You're a
I'm going to
connector.
connect people
There
together.
you go. Network.
You
professional
have-
networker.
you
That's
have-
put on your card.
an awesome personality. You have, I think, exactly what it takes
Thank you
to
so
head this
much.
organization, to give these women the voice that they otherwise wouldn't have.
I appreciate
You're
that.
affording them the opportunity to step up to the plate and say, hey, you know what? I do have an issue, and I want to talk about it.
Yes.
Tell me any other groups. I don't know any other groups out there like yours that are doing this. There may be, and I'm not saying there's not, but I've looked around and I haven't found anybody that's doing what you're doing. So to me, what you're doing is groundbreaking,
Thank
and
you.
it really needs to be done. You really need to get the words from these veterans out in the public. Let people know that, hey, it's okay.
Yes.
There's
Yes,
nothing
it is.
unusual about what you went through.
Yep.
You know, but you have to talk about it. So God bless you for what you're doing for these women.
Thank you so much. And the good thing about Top Flight Defense, we have ambassadors. We have ambassadors in Maryland.
Across the country,
Yeah.
it seemed like.
Well, we have them right now. I'm trying to recruit more,
Oh,
but
okay.
they need to be able to roll up their sleeve and get out there and, roll in the dirt with us.
Tell me about that Tokyo deal.
The all the time.
Not Tokyo, was it?
Yeah.
Tokyo.
It's Tokyo. You gotta come. You gotta be there at the event. That's when
There you
it's
go.
a surprise.
So when's
It-
this event?
the
That's what we don't
event-
think we got
yes.
through yet. We gotta make sure
August-
people hear about that.
August 28th. It's going to be at the Holiday Inn in Countryside, 2601 Joliet Road.
Joliet Road and Route 66.
There you
There
go.
you go.
There you go. That's the event. Wise Served. You can follow us on YouTube. We have our YouTube channel. Please
Gosh, it's
subscribe.
fun. Name of it.
Visit our website, www.topflightdefenseinc.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, and I have to thank my daughter, Letitia Davis, for all of that.
Letitia.
Thank my board members for all what they've done, because we wouldn't be where we are now without the people that have
Right.
helped me, and even those that stand in the gaps with me that aren't military, that have helped me. And I don't want to go through names because
Well,
they
you've
get
come a
upset.
long way
Long list, yeah.
in the short time.
It's all right.
You've come a long way in the short time that you've been doing this. You really have.
Yes.
I mean, I think, like I said before,
January of last year.
I think what you're doing is
Through the
amazing. I
pandemic
think,
and everything.
yeah, I mean, you've come such a long way. But you got a great message, though.
Thank you.
You really do, and I just know it's going to help so many female veterans to be able to say, hey, I can talk about this.
Yes.
And it's thanks to you that they're able to do that. So tell us more about this event. What can we expect there?
Okay, at the event, what you will expect, we're going to have dinner. So the tickets,
Okay, what's for dinner?
Yeah.
I haven't
You got
figured
Michael
that
interested
part
now.
out yet. I don't know
Okay.
if we're going to do chicken, steak, or veal, or, I haven't decided just yet on the meeting. And I don't want to say our team haven't decided what
Okay.
we would like to feed our guests that evening. But we will be introducing all of the ladies that can make it to the event. Like I said, not all 67 will be here. I'm praying that we can at least get 30 of them here. I know we have I think we have about 2 or 3 flying in from Washington State. I know we have Maryland. I know we have Idaho.
Wow.
I know we have Texas coming
That's
in.
great.
But my desire, and here you go, I'm going to tell you, I'm hungry. My desire is not to have
1 minute
Okay.
warning.
1 minute warning. Okay.
1 minute
My
warning.
desire is not to
You know how
have.
subtle that is?
That's very subtle. It's like blue.
right.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
It's not to have those women that are flying in
Right.
out of state to have to pay for their meals.
Right.
They're already flying
They're
in.
doing enough,
So
yeah.
I'm looking for help.
So if they wanted to buy an ad in your book, how would they do that?
Top Flight Defense Inc. at gmail.com. Send an email to to my email, or founder at topflightdefenseinc.org, and you can purchase you an ad for the book, or you can sponsor someone. You can make a donation. Zelle or PayPal at topflightdefenseinc at gmail.com.
Kevin, I want to thank you for being my co-host, and you'll be on
Yeah.
many more shows with me. Thank you, Ed.
Oh, no problem. Got a
And
fantastic
Cassandra
guest.
Taylor,
Yes.
you are absolutely the best.
Oh, thank
You
you.
have done so much for K9 and our veterans. Now you're doing it even more so for our female veterans,
Thank you.
and that's just amazing. So, again, watch for Cassandra Taylor on Facebook and her website.
Twitter.
If you're looking to help volunteer, looking
Yes.
for volunteers
Same
as well.
same website, same email. Shoot me an email. Get on the website. At the bottom, you'll see contact us, or it's contact us, and just send your stuff in.
Well,
We're
I want
always
to thank
looking.
both my guests and Kevin for being here tonight. Thank you so much,
It's
and
fantastic.
we'll look forward to doing it. I want to have you back on after your event,
Yes,
so
I'll be
we could
more
talk
than
about
happy.
it and we can figure out,
Talk about the
what's
success that it was.
exactly,
Yes.
because I know it's going to be. How could
Exactly.
it not be? You're right.
You're too kind. You're too kind.
Thank you for joining us tonight. We'll be back next Thursday.
Okay.
Thank you.